welcome to Griffon Update. I'm Micah Cummins.
And I'm Tommy Marshall. Griffon Update is our student-produced digital magazine show bringing you news, sports, and information from Missouri Western State University and the surrounding region.
During each program, we will present an in-depth look at the people, places, and events that make Missouri Western and the Northwest region of Missouri a great place to call home.
On today's show, we'll look at ways to protect yourself and the planet.
We'll also look at a famous author's visit to campus, as well as a respected music professor's retirement.
But first, Second Harvest Community Food Bank recently hosted a walkathon on campus to raise money for their Backpack Buddies program, which provides children with food to take home over the weekends.
That's right, and reporter Jasmine Taylor was at the scene to get more information on the walkathon.
Missouri Western hosted the annual Walkathon for Backpack Buddies. The Walkathon raises awareness for child hunger and also raises money for the Second Harvest Community Food Bank Backpack Buddies program. Second Harvest Community Food Bank is a nonprofit food distribution center located in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Backpack Buddies has been going on for a long time. It started in the 90s, so I can't give you the exact date, but it has been around for decades, and it's a weekend feeding program for kids who have been identified as food insecure and don't receive adequate meals during the weekend time. So they receive a bundle of food that has a breakfast, a lunch, some snacks, shelf-ready milk in it, juices, so just to kind of tide them over the weekend.
Over 50 people participated in this year's walkathon. Backpack Buddies program fundraising chairman Mike Buckler was quite pleased with the support from the community and the turnout for the event, and is expecting an even greater turnout for next year.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we are all so fortunate. I just fathom, and it really bothers me to think that a child goes home over the weekend and doesn't have enough food, and then they rush to school on Monday morning so that way they can get breakfast. So anything that we can do to help out those kids, to give them some food. I mean, research and statistics tells us that if a child is hungry, they're not going to learn, they're not going to do very well academically.
Each backpack that a child receives is filled with nutritious food and snacks that they can enjoy over the weekend. With programs like Backpack Buddies, we can make sure that the children who are in need will be taken care of. For Griffon Update, I'm Jasmine Taylor.
Not only do you get to exercise, but you're also providing for a child in need. Definitely a win-win situation. For more information on Backpack Buddies, visit ourcommunityfoodbank.org.
So Tommy, I think we've talked about this topic before. Art?
Yeah, we all love it. Why?
Because graduation's around the corner, and that means so is the
Second Senior Art Exhibit.
That's right. Reporter Heather Gronke had the story and could tell us more about it.
This is the Second Senior Art Exhibit, an event that happens every year in the Potter Art Gallery in which graduating seniors are given the opportunity to showcase their work. There are many forms of artwork displayed, ranging from posters and graphic design to canvas painting and sculptures.
Each student got to choose 3 pieces of artwork to put into the exhibit. We have a lot of graphic design students, and so the pieces on the pedestals were different packaging designs that they had worked on. And so because they had worked on similar projects, there's some similar concepts between the projects. Like each student worked with their advisor in their major to decide what 3 pieces would represent their work, what they were most proud of, what they wanted to show off for their senior exhibit.
In this show I have a poster, which is this orange one back here, and then I also have an artist book, which is a box with wooden tiles that has different sayings to live by, and then I also have a chocolate branding company.
been an artist forever. How I got into art at Missouri Western was my suite mate freshman year. She came home from classes and she had these great pieces of art. They were these 2D pieces. And so she was cutting this paper and putting them together, and it was really neat. And she said her professor was really awesome. And I was doing accounting and finance at the time, double majoring, and I was like, this is stupid. I should just go to the art department. It's a really good display of all of the strengths and talents of our not only graduating class, but also the students who will be graduating in the next year. I've learned so much, and I would encourage any student to come to Missouri Western.
It goes without saying that these graduating seniors have some very bright futures. If you didn't get out to see the exhibit this year, be sure to visit the Senior Art Exhibit of 2017 because it sure is a sight to see. For Griffon Update, this has been Heather Gronke reporting.
Wow, that's some good-looking artwork.
Indeed it was. I hope a lot of people got out to see it. So Tommy, do you read in your free time?
Yeah, of course, all the time.
Well, then I'm sure you've heard of Ellen Hopkins, right?
Yeah, Crank is one of my favorite books.
Well, the renowned author made a trip to Missouri Western. Reporter Brendan Welch was in Sprat 101 to hear how her life inspired her books.
I swerved off the high road, hard left to nowhere, recklessly indifferent to those coughing my dust. Picked up speed, no limits, no top end, just a high velocity rush.
That's the voice of renowned New York Times best-selling author Ellen Hopkins. Hopkins came to Missouri Western on April 18th after being invited by the Mochila Review. Mochila editor Marianne Kunkel explained that each year her staff chooses a writer to judge a selection of their stories and to be invited to speak at Missouri Western.
When I asked my staff of students here at Missouri Western what famous author they wanted to invite to be the guest judge, they said Ellen Hopkins.
Hopkins, so far, has been the most well-known writer to accept that invite. And when the writers from the Mochila Review found out that she was coming, they were pretty happy.
Oh my gosh, they were so excited. I think one student just sent me a reply email with like all exclamation points. And
Hopkins read some of her poetry, showed slideshows of her family and her life out west, and explained some of the inspirations for her novels.
It's a tribute to my kid, my 19-year-old kid. The story, the main character's story isn't the same as my kid's, but the voice is similar. And there are pieces of Matt, who's the character's life, that kind of reflect my son's life. So I love the kid. So
she also dove into the dark origins of her most famous book, Crank, which was inspired by her daughter's drug addiction.
It was the catharsis. It was wanting to know why she made the decision she did, what part I might have played in the decision she made. It was very helpful that way in putting things into some kind of order in my mind because, it was, before I started the book, it was 6 years of fighting the addiction. It's now been 21, by the way, in and out of that addictive phase. So.
And of course, an event this big drew in a crowd.
One of my students was like, you could just put the word crank on the poster and people will come. And then someone else, because that's her most famous book, someone else was saying, you should just make the poster cake and crank because people either come for free cake or they come to, because they love the book Crank. So we ended up putting more than that on the poster.
After the presentation, Hopkins signed and sold books for the eager audience. And if you missed this event, don't worry. More authors are on the way to Sprat 101.
Because I just started here 2 years ago. So my goal is every spring when the new issue comes out to bring a famous author. So last year it was Taylor Mali, who's a very well-known, wonderful spoken word poet. He does some written work as well. And he came here around this time last year and did a really lively performance.
And you can feel free to let the Mochila Review know which writer you would like to see.
Any requests, you should tweet us or post something on our Facebook page at Mochila Review, and we will take it under consideration.
For Griffon Update, I'm Brendan Welch.
Kunkel said she encourages her students to think big when inviting an author and that she isn't afraid to contact anyone to get them to come to campus.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll say a farewell to a beloved retiring professor.
At Missouri Western, it's on us.
It's on us, all of us, to take responsibility and stop sexual assault.
To create a campus environment where everyone is safe and feels safe.
To realize that ending sexual assault is not an individual endeavor,
but a collective effort.
To understand that it affects not only students, but faculty and staff members alike.
At Missouri Western, we take action.
It's on us to look out for each other and not look the other way.
We step up and say something.
We support survivors.
We are going to be a part of the solution and not the problem.
It's on us to intervene and take responsibility.
So take action, because we can and will make a difference.
At Missouri Western,
it's on us
to put an end to sexual assault.
Begin by taking the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. After decades of instruction, Missouri Western's music department will say a final goodbye to Dr. Dennis Rogers. Rogers specializes in percussion studies and performance, and he gave his final performance at the Extreme Percussion Show this April. We join reporter Sydney Holzfaster for more details.
After 38 years of instruction, Missouri Western's music department said its final goodbyes to Professor of Percussion, Dr. Dennis Rogers.
For a guy that wasn't really plugged in to going to school, I ended up with 5 degrees and didn't even mean to. But UMKC supported my degree activities, and when I resigned from UMKC Conservatory, came to Missouri Western, got a call 3 days later because I resigned so I could finish more degrees. And I got a call from Missouri Western, and I remember when Bill Mack, a well-known, wonderful band director in Kansas City in high school, came here to start the music program and the band program, called me and asked me if I had any grad assistants at UMKC that might be available to take a job called percussion, being the percussion person. And so, as it turns out, I said, no, we don't have any grad assistants, but I'm available. So 3 days later, after I resigned without anybody knowing anything, I was at Missouri Western talking to Bill Mack in the new Missouri Western State College that was a junior college, and the rest is history.
He's very dedicated to students and what they desire to do, and he helps them. I know that he's contributed quite a bit to educators in the area, and I just think his dedication to students really sets him apart.
He's been around the block for a very long time, and he's seen a lot of things, and he knows where success comes from, and he's very good at giving you the means of success through his, again, like I said, his wisdom.
The best part about teaching is that it gives a person like myself the opportunity to teach students more than just the craft. Our craft is percussion, but there's much more than that. So the real joy that I have is teaching young people about every facet of life, if you will. Like wisdom is its own reward. And by watering others, you water yourself. Truth is neither mean nor nice, it's just true. And that goes on all day, every day, between striking notes and playing rhythms and having a lot of fun.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers, for your time and dedication to Western, and congratulations on your retirement.
With finals approaching and stress levels rising, students are looking forward to the summer and the plans they have for it.
Missouri Western is offering summer school, but who really wants to be trapped inside of a classroom year-round?
I do, well, maybe not. However, reporter Gina Razuma set out to see how Griffon's plan on spending their summer.
At Missouri Western, students here cannot wait for the warm weather.
I took a closer look to see what the Griffons had planned for the summer. Freshman at Western and music major, Maria Ponce let me know how she planned on spending her summer.
I definitely like to practice music. I like to just hang out with friends. I like to do sports sometimes. Not a lot, but I'm really into volleyball. So I just do volleyball because that's something I really like to do. Yeah, I definitely want to do that over the summer.
Jasmine Taylor, current junior, speaks on her transition to Western and her plans to further her education by going to summer school.
This is my first year because I just transferred from Longview Community College, so this is my first time at a university, so it's not bad. This summer I plan on working full-time, and I'm also taking 2 summer classes, photography and intro to mass media, so kind of busy summer.
Sydney Holzfaster, part of the Griffon newspaper, of course will be hitting the books running this summer, but will also be spending time with her second family, her pets.
I also really love animals. Like, I have 2 cats at home. I have Amber, who is 13, and I have Miku, and he is just getting ready to turn 10 months old. And if it was up to me, I would have like 5 dogs and 2 more cats and probably like a betta fish or something, just because I want to have like a mini zoo in my apartment, because that's always safe.
Missouri Western is home to many, yet when school is out, the summer comes in and the students are free to do whatever it is they please. When asked what the students would like to tell their fellow peers, they all agreed on wishing each Griffon a safe summer. This is Junior Zuma with Griffon Update. Thank you.
I think we're all looking forward to the summer. What are your plans, Tommy?
I just plan on catching up on sleep. You know, students don't get enough sleep. But after watching these tips on sleeping well by our reporter Jess Kopp, I realized just how important it is.
That sounds pretty interesting, and I could definitely use some more sleep myself. Let's have a look.
Getting enough sleep isn't always as easy as it sounds.
You know, a lot of times people don't sleep just because, especially worry, anxiety. They might be stressed out about school, obviously finals coming up. But it could be other things too, you know, family, relationships, friendships, you know, things on their minds. So that can kind of interfere with sleep, I think.
Sleeping in an appropriate amount of time each night, at least 8 hours, offers many important health benefits and shouldn't be ignored.
Helps with learning, and it helps your body repair itself. It helps with preventing heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure. People who don't get enough sleep, studies have shown that they have increased risk for heart disease, obesity, things like that.
Especially during exam time, students can get very stressed and sacrifice sleep in favor of studying.
Realistically, they stay up late, they cram, they drink lots of caffeine, so they're not getting enough sleep, and it does interfere with your learning, even though you don't think it does. Just try to eat right, exercise, and not stay up all night studying, but those things help.
Still, there are things students can do to wind down.
There's sleep hygiene, where you don't drink caffeine later in the day, no TV on, no electronics. You can have like tea sometimes helps. Certain types of tea helps people relax when they go to bed, things like that. Not having pets in there.
You know, just pick a particular time to go to bed, a particular time to get up. Try to avoid sleeping in. Try to get some type of exercise, whatever you might enjoy. It might just simply going for some walks can be great. With other tips on anxiety, talking to people about things on your mind. If you're worried about things that you have to accomplish or do, just maybe making a list even of that stuff. And so that's kind of a reminder for the next day so you don't forget. So.
If nothing really helps, it is possible to try it over-the-counter medication.
If it's been going on for a couple of weeks and they've tried all these sleep hygiene things, then they might consider trying some over-the-counter things like melatonin, which is more natural, some like Unisom, or there's like Benadryl in a lot of sleep aids over the counter. You can try, and if those haven't worked, then it might be time to seek medical help.
This was Jess Kopp for Griffon Update.
Very useful information indeed. We'll be right back after this short short break. We're going to take a short break.
Hi, so tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Paul. That's short for polyethylene terephthalate. I like long walks on the beach and soda pop.
Me too.
And you know, I'm just looking for someone to spend the next 450 years with. I mean, I'm not decomposing anytime soon.
I'm not sure I'm ready for that type of commitment.
But wait!
Maybe it's time to break up with Paul. Use reusable beverage containers and recycle plastic bottles.
Welcome back to Griffon Update. Recently, Missouri Western has been taking a firmer stance on self-defense.
Western hosted a free self-defense course in the Griffon Indoor Sports Complex. St. Joseph women 12 and over were invited to participate.
Reporter Melissa Kurtz was on the scene and can tell us all about it.
Missouri Western partnered with the Kiwanis Club of St. Joseph and other organizations to take a stand on self-defense. The Take Self-Defense class was created by Roger Kemp after his daughter Alexandra Kemp was brutally murdered in Johnston County, Kansas. The effort started off small, Kemp said. The first classes had only 10 to 12 people, but slowly the word got out and support for the effort grew. The Allie Kemp Foundation, named in his daughter's honor, teaches women all across the nation how to remain aware and to defend themselves against attackers. The Take Defense course was the first self-defense class to be taught for free nationwide. For his work with the foundation, Kemp was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal from President Obama in 2011.
It's the Allie Kemp Educational Foundation, and that's where we get Take Defense from, the Allie Kemp Educational Foundation. And our mission is to protect the young women in our society. And when I say young women, we start at middle school. We go up now to a very proud 90-year-old grandmother that's been through our class. We've had 66,000 people go through our classes on Take Defense. It's about safety awareness, and if the unthinkable happens, what that person can do in class learns how to defend herself, get on her feet, run away, and go home at night. And that's what we're all about. Every night in the news, we unfortunately hear about some senseless tragedy that happens in our society, which is totally unacceptable, and we want to put a stop to it.
The course took place in the Griffon Indoor Sports Complex and boasted an attendance of about 200 women in all. The Kiwanis Club of St. Joseph encouraged participants to take place in the donation drive they were holding for the YWCA, and anyone who gave was put in a raffle to win a prize at the conclusion of the event. Anyone who donated $20 or more to the Allie Kemp Foundation received a gift bag from Apple Market and a free t-shirt provided by all the event sponsors. Women 12 and older were invited to take part in a 2-hour defense course that taught them how to deal with an attacker and how to avoid common mistakes. Defense instructor and executive director for the foundation, Jill Leiker, said that the worst thing a woman can do in that situation is to freeze.
What would you do if you go home tonight and the doorbell rings and you open the door and there the bad guy stands, or girl, making demands of you? What would you do? We know in these scenarios from the hundreds of stories that we get that most victims do one thing and unfortunately do it very well. And that is freeze. If you've never thought about what you would do in that scenario, you have no mental recall, you have no physical recall about what you should do, and you will freeze because there is nothing there to tell you to do anything different. We don't want you to freeze. If you can do something in that split second to make a difference, yell, hit, run, whatever it is, you can make a difference in your personal safety.
She explained that if you have no plan in place for what to do or any recall of practicing it before, you will lose the advantage if it comes to a fight.
Guess what? Our hardest job today is to convince you this can happen to you. Everyone thinks it always happens to someone else. It's someone else's neighbor, someone else's community, someone else's daughter.
With her partner, Leiker showed students how to escape the most common forms of attack. She emphasized the importance of making sound as well as fleeing when the opportunity presented itself. Most of all, she emphasized that women must maximize their power, using their center of mass to throw off an attacker, instead of relying on the strength of their arms alone. The Take Defense class concluded at noon, and Director of Alumni Relations Colleen Coach announced that the class had raised $1,500 for the Allie Kemp Foundation and the St. Joseph Kiwanis Club. This has been Melissa Kurtz for Griffon Update.
For more information about the Allie Kemp Foundation, please visit takedefense.org or call 913-826-2951.
In addition to protecting yourself, it's also important to protect our planet. Executive producer Ginny Swope caught up with a Missouri Western graduate whose life is dedicated to making recycling a heroic act.
I'm Misty. I own a business called KC Earth Kid, and it's for recycling. There's a Spider-Man person on the plaza, and I saw that when I was walking by, and it made me think, man, that'd be really cool just to walk, dress up as a superhero and pick up trash, and that's what I did. For some reason, when I started being more aware of how much garbage I was using, I started seeing how much other people were using, and how much they just didn't care. I had some guy had told me I should give up on recycling because it was a never-ending battle. It's like stuff like that. It's just a huge, huge thing of this culture of apathy, and it's terrible, and it's the most obvious form to me.
My name's John Fish. I'm the Recycling Center Manager at the Three Trails Community Recycling Center. It's just foolish to throw things in a big hole in the ground when we can use them over again. If we just throw them in a big hole in the ground, then we have to go out and we have to cut down more trees, which means destroying more forests. We have to dig more minerals out of the ground to make metals.
When an idea happens, it's more so for money. It's not for anything about what the effects of it will be later. And that's the problem, is that we're doing stuff without thinking what's going to happen along the road. And now we've dug ourselves in a really, really deep hole.
Well, we have to always go to the 3 R's, which end with recycle, but begin with reduce. That's the most important thing, is to try to reduce how much stuff you're consuming in the first place.
I also suggest only recycling a few things to overwhelm yourself. Just be aware what you're buying. It's just really, really simple things people can do. Just got to look beyond a little bit, just think about it a little bit.
It's good to see there's people out there advocating for their dream for a healthier planet.
Tommy, has anything ever stood in the way of your dreams?
Yes.
Well, how did you get past it?
I kicked the vending machine till I got my Snickers.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
It happens.
But in this edition of Artist Spotlight, we'll get to know Amanda Estep, a dancer who won't let anything stand between her and her dreams. Reporter Christina Wade has the story.
When the game clock hits 0, the Mystics show their stuff, along with their captain, Amanda Estep.
For one, it's a great way to express yourself. I'm not big into writing or anything like that, so it's a really nice way to be able to express really how I'm feeling.
Amanda also uses dance as a way to help manage her cystic fibrosis, a genetic condition that affects her lungs and digestive system.
Cystic fibrosis is a lung and digestive disorder. It's hereditary, and so both of my parents had a defective gene, and so I got the messed up gene from both. And basically everything in my body's thicker. So the mucus in my lungs is thicker and harder to get out, so I get lung infections easier. And my lung function just slowly decreases until I go in the hospital for tune-ups and get antibiotics and stuff like that. And then I don't digest my food because my pancreas doesn't make, the enzymes are too thick to get out of my pancreas. So I have to take enzymes every time I eat.
Amanda has been dancing her entire life, from studio dance to captain of her high school dance team to assistant coaching the Mystics this coming year.
My mom just put me in dance lessons in our little small hometown studio in Cameron when I was 3 years old. And I just loved it. I loved being on stage. I loved having fun. And then most of my friends ended up being from the dance class, so it was a good time just to go play with my friends too.
Amanda's got a wonderful attitude. She's been instrumental in advancing both the work of the Mystics and also our dance program. She's done everything that's been asked of her. She does it with a smile, and she's just a joy to be around. And she's also a very talented dancer. I think her attitude, just her general reception of life and how vibrantly she lives life. I think that sets her apart from a lot of other people. She loves to dance, she loves other people, and she contributes a great deal. That really sets her apart. To see Amanda going wherever Amanda wants to go. I serve as her academic advisor, and we've talked about several things from event planning to continuing to teach and choreograph. So whatever Amanda wants to do, Amanda can do. She puts her mind to it, she'll be able to accomplish it.
If she fell in love with it from the get-go and has done it ever since, it's where she meets most of the people in her life. That's how we met. Like all of her friends, the basis of all of her relationships. So I think it's been really good for her. Dedication is part of it, but also the love for it, honestly, because never ever, you see a lot of guys, like even, so I play drums, and I gotta practice, right? Sometimes it's, I gotta go to practice. I find it's never like, oh, I gotta go to rehearsal with her. It gets to go to rehearsal.
There's no one that's ever been like, you shouldn't do this, but my family and my friends especially, my mom's really big into it, and my doctor helps a lot because he does see like the health benefits along with it too. Dr. Willenbrink's been a big help. He actually saved the dance team a couple years ago because we were under athletics and then they didn't treat us very well. So he actually fought to get us back under music.
No matter where life takes her, Amanda plans to keep on dancing.
I want to keep it more as a hobby because I'm afraid if I make it my profession that I won't enjoy it as much. So I want to keep choreographing, but I'll just choreograph for like high school dance teams or college dance teams or musicals and stuff, and not like it my main profession. And then I'd love to like volunteer with like different programs for like handicapped children and stuff like that, and incorporate dance into their lives. It's a way to not be myself anymore and to not be like the sick kid. I can just be one of the team members, or I can just be the girl on stage and not have to worry about like, it's me, I can be someone else.
This is Christina Wade for Griffon Update.
Keep an eye out for the Mystics in the 2016-2017 Griffon sports season.
Well, from Mario to Kesha, this year's Rube Goldberg mini golf courses displayed an array of engineering and creativity. I caught up with the art department students to play a couple of holes. Friday, April 15th marked the 12th semi-annual Rube Goldberg mini golf display. The atrium of Remington Hall was filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and golf balls being sunk in a welcome feeling of victory and creativity. The display featured a number of eccentrically themed golf courses, ranging from video games to cartoons and board games. These included courses based on cartoons such as Cat Dog, video games like Pac-Man, and a course with a theme based on pop singer Kesha. Despite the event taking place so early in the morning, many students and teachers stopped by to give the courses a try and prove their skills.
I just really want everyone to have fun. I want everyone to come up and be really excited to play our course and see what's happening. I really want everyone to kind of see what our art students can do. I've been inviting a lot of people to just come and support our art students because, we all worked really hard on this for over a month, and we really want people to be excited to play our courses.
The courses were created by the Department of Art's 3D design class. Students were tasked with creating the courses and putting all the skills they had learned over the semester to use. The course creation process would start with brainstorming, where the students would think of ideas and how to execute them. Students would then begin the design process, in which they would flesh out a theme and details on paper in different programs. Finally, they would begin work on a model. They'd begin the model by building the structure, and then they would focus on adding the aesthetics to make it look good.
It was designed specifically with simplicity in mind. So we wanted to keep it strictly mini golf. We didn't want to go extravagant or anything. And I think it worked out really well for us. Process of building it, first we built the structure, and that took a really long time. And then afterwards, we did all the aesthetic things. I think one of the last things we did was put the siding on, and it really tidied it up and made it look really nice. After that, we painted it, and it was pretty much done, but it took a long time.
The process of getting ideas for the course and putting them on paper was one thing, but bringing the idea to life was something completely different. Groups had to spend several months constructing their courses. While the models took a while to fully complete, the focus of the entire project was their functionality.
The project was broken into two sections, where the first section was functionality, because obviously in this setting functionality is the most important. If it looks great but doesn't work, So we break it up like that, and this is about a month-long project, so they had about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to get it functioning properly, and then the rest of the time it's been focusing on aesthetics.
The Rube Goldberg mini golf display is something that happens every year. Next time it happens, be sure to go check it out. This is Tommy Marshall reporting. The art department exhibits new courses each year, so be on the lookout for next year's exciting displays.
After this short break, we'll turn it over to Amari Martin for the sports report. Stay tuned.
One out of every 4 car accidents are caused by texting and driving.
Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. That's better. Keep your eyes on the road.
Welcome to Griffon Update Sports. I'm your host, Amari Martin. With the school year coming to an end, let's recap the 2015-2016 year in Griffon athletics. The Griffon football team didn't have the best start, but they still managed to have a winning season with a record of 6-5. Senior Mike Jordan had an outstanding career, putting himself in a great position to be drafted to the NFL, which he was drafted to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, volleyball finished their season with a 21-10 record overall. This was the first back-to-back 20-win season the Griffons have had since 1997-1998. The Griffon soccer team finished the year off with their first winning season in program history. The team finished the season with an overall record of 9-8. Now, the women's basketball team won the MIAA Conference Championship, along with making it to the national tournament with the MIAA Player of the Year, LaQuinta Jefferson, leading them. In men's basketball, Weiber won the first playoff game in his coaching career here at Missouri Western, also leading the team to the second round of playoffs. Now, some of our Griffon sports season aren't quite over just yet. Softball, baseball, golf, and tennis are on their way to the MIAA Conference Tournament. The Griffon softball team took the title of being conference champs for the second time in a row, having a record of 39-11. Tennis had a comeback season after being 11-10 last season to now holding a record of 10-5. Baseball is currently ranked number 3 in the MIAA. Along with the men's and women's golf, men finished with 7th place in the MIAA and the women finished in 4th place. For more information on Griffon athletics, check out gogriffons.com. I'll see you next fall, Griffs.
Thanks, Amari. Well, that's our show.
From all of us here at Griffon Update, thank you for watching.
For more news and information about Missouri Western and the surrounding region, tune into Griffon Update on Channel 12.
Or catch us on the Griffon Update YouTube channel at griff.vn/update.
Thanks for watching.